Hi, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now, today's reading is a monthly reading for June 2025 for the fire sign Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to be getting into your reading. I'm doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. I need to clarify, I will be using the Gilded Tarot Royale deck, and at the end, I'll pull one additional message from the Soul's Journey deck. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. If they do, when you enjoy what you hear today, please give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. You might consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you here, and that way you would also be notified whenever I upload new content. And if the messages, if they don't resonate, I do encourage you to listen to not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and rising. Sometimes the other videos have, additional messages or resonate better one month, over another. So do consider that as well. All right, let's get started then. So center of your spread, we have a decision to be made, right? But for whatever reason, you are feeling that you don't have all the information that you need to make that decision, right? You're incapable of making it. So this is often referred to, the Two of Swords, often referred to as the stalemate card. It's very stagnant energy. You can see the woman is, she has the swords crossed in a very defensive pose, sort of across her chest there. She's blindfolded. And the suit of swords itself, it has to do with our intellect. It's the suit of the mind, communication, how we get those, thoughts, how we communicate those thoughts to other people. But it's, it's needing to make a decision, and for whatever reason, feeling stuck. It's being helped or hindered by the Ten of Pentacles. So this decision could have to do with, a job situation. It could have to do with your finances. It could have to do with, if it is to do with like a job, sort of weighing up one versus another. There's a focus on, which one will bring you this greatest amount of financial security and abundance, because the Ten of Pentacles, it's the suit of Pentacles itself is earth energy, and it has to do with the work that we do, the money we earn, our home, our family. And you can see the woman on the card. I mean, she has this, it's a very beautiful scene. There's a castle in the background. Everything is very abundant, very opulent, right? We have all the pentacles around her. She's looking beautiful. So it's, it is a card of great opulence, wealth, and, abundance. So there's this, there's indecision surrounding either your finances, right? Your home. Again, we'll see how this plays in with the rest of the reading here. In the deep past, at the foundation, you have the major arcana number 8, strength. And the strength card is associated with your own sign. No, I'm sorry. What am I saying? Associated with the sign of Leo. Apologies, Sagittarius. But a fellow fire sign. And the strength card is exactly what it says. It's about having that inner strength, not physical, though you could be physically strong, but it's the inner determination, strength, right, drive, to never back down, to see something through, to stick with something. If there's a difficult situation that you have to face, it's having that inner strength and courage to face that. So, you might have, does sit in the deep past, so you might have already had to kind of tap into this, inner strength. Let me just move these cards over a little, to handle a situation in the deep past. In the recent past, we have the Page of Swords, so more Swords energy. And this page, sometimes the Page of Swords shows up if there's, can be if people are keeping track of what you're doing, it's that sort of spying on you, like especially internet stalking. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, like negative. Like, for example, if you've applied for a job, this could be people just checking your references and pulling up information on you online. And, especially depending on what your profession is, certain professions, as part of the application process, now they have, just be aware that we'll be conducting a full online search of all of your social media, and you have to provide all of that information. So it's just, it's people looking at you or checking up on you. It could be that as well. But pages also bring in news, So this could be news about something, as it could have to do with this job, which is sort of, or this money, or, you know, how you earn money, or we'll see as we go through, but news in the recent past. And obviously we'll clarify if we need to. We have more Swords energy crowning your reading. So a lot of cerebral energy coming in here. The Queen of Swords, you might be dealing with an older air sign individual. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She sometimes, you know, she kind of has this negative connotation of being, you know, very like sort of bitter, or, you know, and I don't necessarily view the Queen of Swords like that. She's somebody who is very direct. You can see she holds the sword of truth. She's very good with her words. She's very clear spoken, right? She's a great communicator. If there is something to be said, she's definitely the person that you would want to say whatever that news is, right? She knows how to use her words. So this could be, again, somebody that you're dealing with at this time. Could be you taking on the energy of the Queen of Swords. So communication is sort of on your mind this month. And then you have coming in the near future, the King of Cups. King of Cups is, again, could be an older water sign individual, Scorpio, Pisces, my mind just went, sorry, Cancer. And the King of Cups, as the king of his suit, he's mastered the suit of cups. So he's very emotionally available. He's very, he's quite intuitive, although obviously the Queen of Cups would be the more intuitive of the two, but he's good at handling his feelings. He's good at being very open emotionally. So it might be, if you are dealing with this person, that they are very emotionally available. If it's you taking on this energy, you could be guided to make yourself, to sort of take on this energy of the King of Cups, to approach a situation or how you're dealing with people this month in a more kind of open-hearted way, or, just to have that more of an open mind about a situation or certain people. Let me move these candles. You show up as the king. So we've had the page, the queen, and now the King of Swords. So with the king, similar to what I was saying with the Queen of Swords, it could be an older air sign individual. It could also be somebody who, sometimes this King of Swords shows up when you're dealing with, for example, like a lawyer figure, somebody who gives advice. It can be somebody who uses a sharp object, like as in their profession. So it could be, a chef, it could be a surgeon, it could be somebody who's in the military. Again, could be the lawyer giving legal advice, because again, this, as the King of Swords, he has mastered the suit of swords. So it's all about, using the words and using his intellect. So very intelligent, very, so communication. Is it definitely the words open, being open, open-minded, and communication? Those are coming through for you for the month. You have in your surroundings the Five of Cups, and this is it can be a card of disappointment, in that you see that the girl on the card, she's focused on these three cups that have spilled out, right? What representing that whatever these three cups held at one point, right, the girl no longer has those three. And so it's something that hasn't worked out, some type of disappointment that she's experienced. But by focusing her energies on the three cups that have spilled out, she's not even paying attention to the two cups that are right around her. And, the Two of Cups can represent a soulmate connection, right? The Two of Cups in the tarot, they're the minor arcana version of the Lover's card. So it can be a soulmate connection. And soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic in nature. Soulmates can be friends, right? Work colleagues. But it's like a soul sort of partnership. So she's missing out on that. So there could be a feeling of disappointment in your surroundings. Could be people around you. There might be an actual situation that you are, have experienced this disappointment, but there's a need to focus on the positive. Ooh, and in your hopes and fears, you're hoping for a change of events, right? The Wheel of Fortune. this is a very karmic energy. The Wheel of Fortune is associated, now it is with your sign, Sagittarius, and it's, you know, it represents this wheel now finally being on the upturn. So if, you know, obviously we go through phases, and, you know, we can experience this downturn of the wheel where it's like everything is difficult. We have disappointments, and we have these disappointments showing up with this Five of Cups. But then, you know, we need to trust that the wheel will always go back around. And so, you know, now we're on this upswing, this uptick of the wheel. So things are starting to go in your favor. So you're hoping for this change in events, right? And it is a very karmic energy. So if you have experienced disappointments, things not going your way, you're hoping for this change in events. Beautiful. And you have, as the outbound energy, the Ace of Cups. This is the Holy Grail. So whatever it is that you have wished for, right, hoped for, you see the cup is overflowing here. It's abundance. It's aces in the tarot are also yes cards. So if you have been waiting for an answer, this is the yes that you've been waiting for. It can represent, you know, an offer of love coming in. It can represent news of a pregnancy for some people. It can be in sort of a working environment or situation. The Ace of Cups would be that dream job, right? It's whatever is going to bring your heart, like, or cause your heart to feel this overflowing of emotion, right? So it's emotional fulfillment, and it's a very beautiful energy. So, and it's new things, right? The aces, they're always it's the first of a new cycle. So coming after this hope for this uptick of the Wheel of Fortune, you have a new cycle starting towards the end of the month, heading into the month of July. And wow, we have another very sort of karmic energy of the overall energy, the Justice card. So the Justice card is this number 11 of the Major Arcana, associated with the air sign of Libra. And, you know, obviously Libra is air energy, and you had quite a few air signs, air signs showing up in the spread, with the Page, Queen, King, and Two of Swords showing up. But the Justice is all about, you know, sort of karmic justice being served. So if there was a karmic situation where, you know, you felt like before things hadn't gone your way, things weren't fair, there was a disappointment, now it's like the wheel is turning, karmic justice is being served. She's holding the sword of truth. She's holding the scales, right? The scales of justice are balancing out. Could be actually dealing with, going back to you showing up as this king of, let me move these up a bit, this King of Swords here. You might be dealing with the legal system, because the Justice card can represent, you know, dealing with a lawyer, dealing with the legal system having a ruling go in your favor. So if you have been dealing with the courts, it's finally hearing that, you know, and if maybe you've had you've been waiting to hear about a ruling or a judgment on a you know, some legal situation, it's like you finally hear back about that, and it is getting ruled in your favor. So it, you know, it does look it very, very much looks like a positive month here. I really don't feel like I need to clarify, because yeah, it's very clear. I mean, it's sort of communication. There's a, you know, karmic justice is at play here. The Wheel of Fortune, we have this change, you know, this changing of events coming in, a positive turn of events, and then, you know, ultimately this new beginning with the Ace of Cups. So why don't we'll pull an additional message from the Oracle card deck, so the Soul's Journey deck, and we'll see how that ties in with the spread. So one additional message for Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to hear? One additional okay, that one flew out. We will take that. Guilt. It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And I wonder if this guilt might have something to do with this Five of Cups, like this disappointment. Possibly there's a disappointment over, or guilt over, something that didn't work out in the past. I'll get the guidebook, and let's see what other messages are here. And I'll just read from the guidebook. It says, the energy of fear has many guises to complicate your path to loving yourself. Guilt is the most devious because it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is a self-imposed emotion that pretends to be instructive and enlightening. Guilt can help us grow when we realize that our actions have been hurtful to others and that we need to make amends. After we do so, though, it's time to learn from the behavior and move on. The problem arises when we hold on to a guilty feeling that serves no purpose other than promoting self-destructiveness and low self-esteem. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Guilt is not always rational, but if you examine it subjectively, act on it, and release it, it becomes a temporary emotion. Long-held guilt feelings are never good and will create a roadblock to self-love and happiness. You must continually scan your current emotions for any guilty feelings and bring them to the surface for analysis. Healthy guilt is a warning that action should be taken. Irrational guilt needs to be released. So I wonder if it's, I feel that it could be attached to this 5 of Cups, whatever this disappointment is, because we do have, this 2 of Cups there, which, like I mentioned, can be sort of this relationship and then a disappointment. So, yeah, there might be something to do with guilt and needing to release guilt, possibly relating to this disappointment of the 5 of Cups. But in general, I would say this looks like a very interesting month for you. But decision, going back to the center of the spread, a decision that needs to be made, even though you seem that you're in two minds about something. Could be you are at the, maybe at the more towards the beginning of the month, but as you move through the month, especially by the end of June, heading into July, I feel that there's going to be a significant change in events, and then this new beginning coming in. So you will be shifting out of this 2 of Swords energy and 5 of Cups energy by the time you reach the end of the month. So I do hope that the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again. If you did enjoy the video, please do give us a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye for now.